else fails, bring the chop. And don't bring the chop. Is he one of those cool, comfortable presences in Young and Dangerous, Robert K? Or is it just one character or several characters throughout that series?
Pretty much just the Jesus Christ. He is just the one character.
Uh-huh.
It's sort of like when the triads, like all the people from all the different branches, all the different areas, meet up and have their meeting. Like Simon Yam being the fucking head of the Triad Society,
Hmm.
and like Brother K being in charge of like one area of like Causeway Bay or something along those lines. So it's just like all these different group meetings. So he's always making appearances as that character.
He's broken. Yeah, one of those big meeting type of scenes. Yeah.
He's always one of those fucking personalities in there.
Yeah. Yeah, $20 is a win in itself.
Mhm.
Poor guy, just completely obliterated mentally. And why not some face slapping and you know.
What the hell?
Oh my God. It's the simple stuff, but I think you got to be so talented to make that shit work, you
Mhm.
know, to get beatings to work, to make editing work
Mhm.
for you in that regard, you know what I mean? And I don't think it is easy to pull that off, and you need to be a comedic presence as well. And
Yeah.
Steven obviously is that, and he's a genius in that regard. You don't need to reinvent comedy. That's the
Mhm.
thing. And I think that's why I always loved Steven because the
that that woman must be holding a fucking Luro every time I see her. Like she's taking a dump constantly.
and she's
That
doing
fucking
that
face.
just because,
Yeah.
there's no huge explanation, no local comedy there.
Mhm.
I think she's doing that just because. And he was so
Gary
good.
Mock stunt double.
Yep, he's so good at being an extra, and didn't mind that. And the dubs are on standby,
Oh, the fire.
and,
Oh,
and he's doing that stunt.
yes.
That's Steven.
That is.
That's not CG, fucking CG fire, like they would
Mhm.
have today or shit like that. Because in Hong Kong, safety is not necessarily number one. It's like
Save
one
the
and a
pigeons. It's what
Uh,
time to fucking discuss
call
this.
action. You're gonna call cutter action anytime soon. And this is fucking dangerous, man. I
Mhm.
mean, normally you can see they have gel all over them, and obviously it does, but it's not as visible. The flame,
Aye.
whatever you call the gel.
Jesus Christ, how close does that get? Oh!
I'm betting today today's star, so to say, the atmosphere in movies that would have been CG.
Mhm.
Especially in Asian cinema, they do unfortunately they do CG fire. You remember in Infernal Affairs 2 where they kill off
Yeah.
like Arthur Wong or and shit like that?
That was pretty weird.
Yeah, that was pretty
They,
bad.
they done the same with Roy Chung in Young and Dangerous 3. They basically had fire in front of the camera and him rolling in the background away from a fire, looking like he's in it. Yes, there is just fire in front of the camera and him standing on the other side of the fire going, "Oh God, no! I'm dying!"
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, why do it at all when you know it looks bad? It's not like that effect has
Mhm.
gone bad over time.
Aye.
CG live elements, look bad. CG replacing live elements,
Mhm.
look bad. CJ blood is one of the main culprits of.
Yeah.
It's fun though that Uncle Tat is not had a. You don't know what his role is yet. He's just this background character. Normally they are a
Mhm.
comedic duo. Love and Delivery, go and Fight Back to School and All for the Winner and what have you, and God of Gamblers too. But here he's a bit of a mystery character,
Mhm. But
abusive.
he's not earned his dues yet. He's that is the underlying subplot of this movie. The man just wants lunch.
Man in his lunchbox. I mean, we don't have the sounds on here, but I think they might have. There's her in the
Some.
background clenching her teeth again. They might have dramatic music all over this scene.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been a great effect anyway. So, I mean, this movie is, I think, is entitled to change moods, uh, because I think it's always been critically acclaimed as a sweet and funny film.
Mm-hmm.
Go from that rather sad face of Stevens, even though it's about a not getting a rice box and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this earns that. And here's I don't know her name, but she's in a bunch of movies
Mm-hmm.
looking like this for a very, very long time. It seems like she lived for quite a long time. You can see her in 90s movies, in 80s movies, looking exactly like this. A great old
Mm-hmm.
veteran granny.
Yeah.
And
It might be related to Simon Yam if she's got that work ethic in her.
exactly. She was in like even that Barbara Wong movie, Truth or Dare, Sixth Floor Rear Flat, where she had this relationship with I think it's Matthew Chow. It's the co-star of The Eye. He played against Angelica Lee in The Eye. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
Matthew Chow, and he was playing his music in front of her, and they had this like sweet relationship where she liked seeing the creativity of this youth. So I thought it was really well used, and that was like a 2003 movie by Barbara Wong, one of those youth movies that is actually good.
Mm-hmm.
And there was Karina Lamb and Candy Lo, among other people, were in that movie.
Yeah, yeah. I mind that just being an ensemble cast of people I didn't know yet.
Hmm. It's actually good.
Mm-hmm.
Rob Sweet, and you don't do youth movies easily as such.
Yeah.
So
Oh, it's this law. Like in 10K Man's face at the side. Wasn't the last shot, but there he is. Looks like he's taking a dump as well. Is it that, or it was just almost like this blind swordsman.
wow.
Like, whenever they're blind, they have to have the most screwed up face
Hmm.
to emphasize I can't see.
I'm
Because
sorry,
his
but
face
she
is
is sexy in this scene. I mean, and I do like Cecilia. She, despite, I mean, in the showbiz industry, you might have a problem if your voice sounds like that. She has a very hoarse, is that what you say, hoarse or coarse voice?
Of course,
Voice,
aye.
yeah. And and in some, here we go, Kung Fu. Chow,
Mm-hmm.
he knows Kung Fu. If anyone didn't know that, he knows Kung Fu.
He could throw some kicks.
Yeah, exactly. Did that a lot more early on in his movies, like his Fist of Fury in 1991 and all
Mm-hmm.
that. But one of the few Category 3 movies from here we go. No one will ever notice a thing. Uh,
Oh, I love it.
that's the old Shaw Brothers technique. But one of the few Category 3 movies from Stephen Chow was Fist of Fury in 1991, probably based on language, but the Flirtong Scholar was that as well. So probably based on
Oh.
40 parts. But what I was saying, in some showbiz circles, people would have like probably said like your voice is not good for the mainstream. People would not like you if you have that voice, and
Mm-hmm.
and thankfully that was not the case for Cecilia. She got on a very respectable career path. Even though Hong Kong Film Awards are sometimes handed out in very random fashion, she did earn Lost in Time, and you'll find that out. It was a very, very good performance compared to like one of those melodramatic performances in Fly Me to Polaris, or
Mm-hmm.
however you pronounce that, but Jingle Ma film. She was so over the top in that movie. Lost in Time was by Derek Yee, a well-known
Mm-hmm.
dramatic director who can, bring the best out of his performance. It really worked, and she deserved that. But I think prior to Lost in Time, she did do the Korean movie Phailan,
Mm-hmm.
which was really good as well. Did you ever see Phailan?
I've not, nah.
Yeah, you gotta watch that and keep the tissues for crying nearby
Mm-hmm.
because it's a heartbreaking movie. Choi Min-sik is absolutely wonderful in that movie. Plays this triad that he gets into a fake marriage with Cecilia Chung's character. They actually never meet, but he gets to know her because I think